guys, it's FPS Trollywood here. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the MP7. It's one of the guns that was believed to be accidentally released in the latest patch on Battlefield 4 here. The way you unlock it is you have to kill one vehicle with a portable AA is how they refer to it in the forum thread that discusses them. And you also have to get 3 anti-vehicle ribbons, which you get by destroying 2 vehicles apiece. So the way you can get it basically is just destroy 6 vehicles in 1 round, or since the ribbons seem to apply, you don't have to do it all in 1 round for those, but it may take a little while for them to populate. So just keep that in mind when you guys are going after it. Basically become a stinger noob for a game, which I don't really like, but it's how I had to get it. So, anyways, the MP7 is a high rate of fire weapon, which you guys are all familiar with from Battlefield 3, and it has a high magazine capacity relative to the other PDWs. It has 41 rounds, including the round in the chamber. And it acts accordingly. It's definitely a close quarters type of weapon. At least that's the way it was designed. And it takes a lot of effort to get it to work at any range other than close quarters. But we'll go over all that as we go through it here. First off, I'm going to talk a little bit about the rate of fire for it. With any higher rate of fire weapon, you're going to have a lot of recoil and a lot of shot spread. You guys are all familiar with, the concepts involved in that. And with that, you're going to have to keep in mind, the amount of rounds you're dumping into a target. With 41 rounds, you've got enough to take down 2, possibly 3 targets at most with this gun, given the damage. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot for 41 rounds, but given that they're small rounds with that high rate of fire, they don't do a ton of damage apiece. So just bear with, just remember that as you guys are playing. You don't necessarily need to reload after every kill with this gun. When you're reloading, you're dumping ammo every time you load, and if you have 20-30 rounds in your mag, you may not want to reload that mag because you're going to be wasting that ammo and you're not going to have it for later. And it probably is very well enough to kill whatever target you may encounter. And if it's not, then you're probably far enough away where you can get a reload in. So I wouldn't necessarily be obsessive on mashing the reload button with this gun, because you'll be burning through a lot of rounds. But as you guys can see here, I burned through 1, 2, and what could have been a 3rd target if I'd bursted it a little better. But just remember, you don't necessarily have to reload after every kill. You got to keep in mind conserving ammo. With that high rate of fire, you're burning through ammo, you're reloading, etc., etc. You're gonna want a support guy. Unfortunately, you can't run this gun with support, but have a buddy or have an ammo pack located or something like that, and play the game with that in mind. Because after just a couple minutes of running around with this gun, you're gonna be running on empty, and especially when you're dumping full mags like I dumped into that guy. So just keep that in mind while you guys are playing. Hip fire with this gun is relatively accurate, especially when you guys are running the laser sight. I'd really recommend that laser sight as something to run with this gun, because it just adds to that quick response that you don't have to ADS if you're in close enough proximity, and that laser sight looks like a good option. So just think about that while you guys are playing. I'd really recommend just running the laser sight with it. But anyways, let's see. Aim down sight aim. If you're bursting your fire, you're gonna have a lot of luck with this gun. While the recoil seems to be pretty strong vertically while you're aiming down sight, it isn't too bad if you're bursting your shot. It's pretty easy to compensate. I don't know what the hell happened there. I jumped off the building and it kind of warped me to the ground. But anyways, aiming down sight, you guys are gonna, you know, it's pretty damn accurate if you're bursting your fire. Whereas if you're just unloading whole clips, you're gonna be close range only. And at that point you might as well fire. But you'll see in a little bit, you know, with that manageable recoil while you're aiming down sight, you can even take out a guy's head glitching and stuff like that. It's pretty good, but yeah. And that, you know, that high rate of fire we talked about is what seems to make it so good even in hip firing in close quarters and stuff like that when you're suppressed, because you have so many rounds going down range that you know, some of them are bound to impact your target. Hopefully it's enough. Here's an example of working at it at a more medium range. It seems to work pretty well at that even. You'll see I take out this guy who's kind of got a head glitch on me a little bit. But, so short range, excellent gun obviously. I don't really need to say anything more about that. Medium range, it's a fair gun if you don't do what I was doing there and just go full auto. If you burst your fire, you'll have a lot of luck with it. And with the number of rounds that it's dumping, sometimes you expect to get a kill faster than you do. But because those rounds are so low damage, you guys got to remember that you're going to be running into an issue where you don't kill them necessarily as fast as you thought, because the rounds don't do a ton of damage apiece. So, with regard to the ranges and stuff like that, like they have, you know, the 4x scopes and shit like that. But I really don't see the purpose in any of that, because with regard to those scopes, you're not going to have the accuracy of fire you need where that 4x or 3.4x scope or whatever is going to be even useful. I really wouldn't recommend running anything more than a 1x scope with it. It's also really good at suppressing targets apparently at medium range even. When you got a big enough group of guys there, you get a lot of suppression assists racked up like that. I just thought that was kind of a funny clip, but yeah, but overall, it's a really fucking just powerful tool. With that fire rate, it's really great to just dump a mag into some guys, and you can take out, you know, 2, sometimes even 3 with 1 mag with those 40 run rounds, assuming they're already a little bit damaged anyways. Right. So, like, I still had 10 rounds left after wasting those 2 guys. So, but just, you know, keep in mind your range limitations. You know, if you need to pull out a secondary weapon or something else to do the job at a longer range, then just do it. Don't waste your time dumping ammo into a target that's too far away for you to do much damage to. Yeah. Yeah. Here's an example of where it felt like it should have done more than it did. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. Hope you guys got something out of this, and you know, or at least enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Next video I'll be talking about the L96. So yeah, I don't know what the hell this guy was doing.
Remember to pick the bigger, stronger kids for your team. That way, you can all gang up on the weaker ones.
Thank you for your consideration.